frustrated, don't know what to say.
Daisy! Dude, they did it with horse poop at the Highlands.
Yeah.
If you've been following along with the journey, you would know we just hiked out of a town called Glasgow. Sherlock, aka Goat, and I had about 60 more miles left until we had to go back and hike the miles we skipped.
Jesus, dude, that was nice.
These days, we kept pushing big miles, and one mistake we had made was deciding on mile numbers without checking the terrain. People joked that Virginia is flat, but I'm going to tell you right now, that is a lie. Sherlock had been having issues with her poles the whole trail. Goat was usually her go-to to help her fix them, but he had his own issues to deal with.
Really peeking right now, Goat.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to have family near the trail to come do trail magic for us.
Oh, great.
It was great to see them, and thank God they came because Goat did not have the supplies for his knee.
I have a first aid kit.
After eating Taco Bell, stitching Goat's knee up, and saying goodbye to my mom and sister, it was time to keep hiking.
Oh my God, you guys are so cute. Look how
It's a big rock.
This was our last day of hiking together as the Dirty Bubble for a while. We had miles to make up, and the plan was to go to Devil's Backbone. This was a hiker-friendly brewery right off trail that allowed through hikers to stay for free.
Oh, there's a bug. Thank you.
With temperatures increasing, most of us were dehydrated. So when we found water, we would usually loiter around for longer than usual. With dried up water sources, it was important to drink about 1 liter of water before hiking back out. The increased temps also meant more snakes were out, so you had to watch where you were stepping. Sherlock's hip and back were hurting this last stretch, so we ended up hitching into Devil's Backbone in the best hitch ever. Devil's Backbone had a beautiful tent city. Like I said before, through hikers were welcome to stay for free, and they even had a bathhouse. But even though the bathhouse was free, Road had been participating in a no-shower challenge. At this point, he had gone without for 25 days, and the man was greasy. So greasy, I am pretty sure things started to grow off of him. Goats and AKA's aunt came to pick us up and take us to her lavender farm for a proper zero.
What are those?
I'm calling this a proper zero because we actually rested our bodies. We took time out to do laundry, go through our food bags, and resupply. We slept in, and we even did some stretching.
Get away from me.
Our original plan was to rent a car back to Harrisburg, but this was the time of the rental car shortage, so there were no available cars for one-way rentals. We had no idea what we were going to do until Dungy came in for the save. He was getting picked up because he had decided to get off trail. Even though we were going to miss him, this was the best decision for him, and we supported him through it.
of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wait, am I pressing the right button? It's the white button, right?
Yeah.
Nothing's happening. Not that I can tell.
$400 right now. That's more than I bought it for.
He took us down to Daleville, and we did the unthinkable. We started heading south. Oddly enough, our first miles on trail, we ran into some familiar faces.
Yeah, flex him,
flex him. This is how you're supposed to wear a hookah.
From there, we were on path to hit the Triple Crown of Virginia. This included Tinker Cliffs, McAfee's Knob, and Dragon's Tooth. We had about 93 miles from Daleville to Parisburg to hike before we were going to get picked up. My mother was going to come get us, which meant we had about 7 days to kill.
You guys see Rat King?
Yeah.
This gave us a lot of time to relax and enjoy the views.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you.
Video or photo?
I got a video right there.
Hey!
Cheers.
What heavy's looking tight in?
I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way.
Showing how to. What'd you say?
Hey kids, you wanna buy some Ultras? I'm selling Moon Peak 4.5s. They're on discount.
We had gotten to McAfee's Knob after dark, so we had missed the sunset, but we knew the sunrise was going to be beautiful. And it was. McAfee's Knob is one of the most photographed areas on the AT. With a 270-degree view of the mountains and valley below, it made sense. So we took our group and individual pictures and hiked on.
There's a mouse. Look. Shh, there's a mouse.
Oh, it's gone. While this section of the AT was beautiful and calming, the Virginia blues were back. I was back on the grind of taking breaks whenever I could, except this time Sherlock and AKA would join in, and we would stop way more than was necessary.
A few comments on the Nike pic, or the repost Nike pic.
While this is a totally acceptable way to hike the AT, we would make plans on where we were going to camp that night ahead of time. Goat was not much of a break taker, so we had to still hit the agreed upon miles so we wouldn't get split up. Goat was a good sport about it, and eventually wised up to our shenanigans and stopped more often.
So like under and then up here.
I'm gonna go. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna go under.
Let's go under?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oh my god! While we usually avoided taking blue blazes, Dragon's Tooth was a must. It was a mini rock climbing session, and the views were totally worth the climb.
Dude, what's up, bud?
Yeah, right? It takes a second sometimes.
Did you get a haircut?
I did.
Okay, that's why it took me a second. Yeah. Gets me up mountains.
My playlist?
Sea changes
Yo,
to
did
drop
you
her
listen to that
panties.
song I sent
Yeah.
you?
She should.
What?
He's gonna
Listen to
drop
that
your
song I sent you?
panties.